Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, October 14 recap. Hope keeps secret from Steffy. Brooke doesn't buy Taylor's diagnosis. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B. Spoilers recap for Monday, October 14, reveals that Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, decided to keep their budding romance between them for now, but they had to pull apart when Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Wood, walked in the design office. Steffy said she could see what was going on here and assumed Hope was relentlessly grilling Carter about her line. After Steffy accused Hope of pitching Hope for the future again, a flustered Hope pretended that was true. Hope said if Steffy was looking for Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., he wasn't there. Steffy insisted she knew where Ridge was and revealed that he was with Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddig. After Carter made an effort to ease the tension between Hope and Steffy, he took off. Steffy acknowledged that Carter was Hope's friend and urged her not to damage that with constant badgering about her line. Steffy also pointed out what an asset Carter was to the company and said she didn't know what they'd do without him. Hope said she agreed with that 100%. Talk turned to their mothers again, but Hope wanted to try putting the feud Brooke and Taylor started all those years ago to rest. Steffy admitted she didn't want their daughters growing up watching all the animosity. As for Taylor and Ridge's bond, Steffy argued that her mom was a good person and wouldn't break up a relationship. That said, Steffy felt like Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, had to accept that Ridge and Taylor would always be connected. Outside the Cliff House on Monday's B&B episode, Brooke continued to spy on Taylor and Ridge. Inside, Chandra, Manita Gandhi, said Ridge was going to help Taylor rebalance her heart chakra through the hand he placed on her chest. After Chandra suggested a position that would help activate things, Brooke muttered to herself and wondered what they were going in there. At Chandra's urging, Taylor got in Ridge's lap and looked into his eyes. This was a powerful position because all Ridge and Taylor's chakras were aligned in a moment of intense connection. As Taylor started to cry, Ridge teared up as well and told her that it was okay to feel. Taylor eventually had the emotional release that Chandra had made a prediction about earlier. While Brooke gaped outside, Taylor fell forward into Ridge's embrace and sobbed as he clutched her tightly. Afterward, Taylor apologized to Chandra for being so skeptical before, but Chandra wasn't offended and just wanted her to keep up the good work to heal her broken heart syndrome. Once Chandra was gone, Taylor shared a warm moment with Ridge and thanked him for all his help. Taylor didn't take Ridge for granted and felt how much he cared was an incredible gift, so they hugged before he left. After Ridge exited, Brooke entered from the kitchen door and confronted Taylor about everything she just witnessed. Brooke didn't know what Taylor thought she was doing, but she snapped that Taylor wouldn't get away with it. Taylor insisted it wasn't what Brooke thought and explained that Ridge was helping her deal with her broken heart syndrome. Once Brooke scoffed over the news, she said Taylor had to be kidding her and assumed this was another way to manipulate Ridge back into her life. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Brooke will continue to have doubts about Taylor's condition, so stay tuned for updates on Taylor's attempt to convince her. As the sun bathed Forrester Creations in its golden glow, the Monday episode of The Bold and the Beautiful opened with tension simmering beneath the polished surfaces of fashion and family. The air was thick with unspoken truths, and secrets were poised to tear apart the delicate balance between Hope, Steffy, Brooke, and Taylor. Hope's lingering guilt. Hope Logan, still grappling with the consequences of her actions, sat at her desk in the Forrester offices, her fingers nervously tapping against the keyboard. She was distracted, unable to focus on the latest fashion designs. The real issue haunting her was far more personal, a secret she was determined to keep hidden from Steffy, despite the heavy weight it placed on her conscience. A few days earlier, during an emotionally charged confrontation, Hope had crossed a line with Liam. Their shared history, complicated by co-parenting and old feelings, had reignited in a moment of weakness. It was a kiss, a fleeting moment, but one that carried enough emotional gravity to send Hope spiraling. She hadn't told Steffy, and now the secret was gnawing at her, threatening to undo the hard-won peace between the two women. Hope's phone buzzed, pulling her from her thoughts. It was Steffy, wanting to meet. "Hey, can you come by? We need to discuss some tweaks to the new line." Steffy's message was casual, but to Hope, it felt like a summons from fate. As she gathered her things and headed towards Steffy's office, Hope took a deep breath, steeling herself for the interaction. She knew Steffy trusted her, both professionally and personally, and that knowledge only deepened her guilt. But Hope was determined to keep her indiscretion buried. After all, it was just a kiss, right? Steffy's guarded optimism. Over in her office, Steffy Forrester was in high spirits, or at least trying to be. She'd been working tirelessly to regain her footing after months of emotional turbulence, primarily dealing with her lingering feelings for Liam and navigating her new relationship with Finn. The balance she was trying to strike felt precarious, but for the first time in a long time, she felt as if she was on solid ground, especially where Hope was concerned. The rivalry between them had eased in recent months. They were co-parenting peacefully, and Steffy appreciated the camaraderie they had built. Today, however, something felt off. She couldn't quite put her finger on it, but there was an underlying tension in the air, something she sensed but couldn't yet see. Hope arrived at Steffy's office, flashing a bright smile, masking her internal turmoil. As they discussed the upcoming fashion line, Hope tried to focus on the work, but her mind kept drifting to Liam and the guilt that weighed her down like a stone. Steffy, perceptive as ever, noticed Hope's distracted demeanor. "Is everything okay?" she asked, concern creeping into her voice. Hope hesitated for a moment, her heart racing. "Yeah, of course. Just a lot going on," she said, forcing a smile. She desperately wanted to unburden herself, to confess the kiss, but she knew that doing so would destroy the fragile peace between them. Instead, she swallowed the guilt and carried on, hoping her secret wouldn't come back to haunt her. Brooke's doubts about Taylor. Meanwhile, at the Forrester mansion, Brooke Logan was pacing in the living room, her thoughts consumed with Taylor Hayes. Over the past few weeks, the news of Taylor's return had sent shockwaves through Brooke's world. But what troubled Brooke the most wasn't Taylor's presence, it was the diagnosis that came with it. Taylor's sudden claims of having achieved emotional stability after undergoing intensive therapy and treatment had caught everyone off guard. Ridge, especially, had embraced the idea, eager to believe that Taylor had finally healed from the trauma of her past. But Brooke wasn't so easily convinced. As she sipped her coffee, Brooke replayed her recent conversation with Ridge in her mind. He had spoken so glowingly about Taylor's progress, about how their children needed to see their mother as a stable, healthy influence in their lives again. Brooke had listened, nodding along, but internally, red flags were flying everywhere. She had known Taylor for years, decades even. And while she understood that therapy could bring about significant change, Brooke couldn't shake the feeling that Taylor's recovery was too convenient, too sudden. People didn't just transform overnight. And given Taylor's history, her obsession with Ridge, her constant battles with Brooke herself, Brooke suspected that Taylor was hiding something, or worse, that she hadn't truly changed at all. Brooke's thoughts were interrupted when Ridge walked into the room, looking more relaxed than he had in weeks. "You seem deep in thought," he said, approaching her with a curious smile. "I am," Brooke replied, her voice laced with suspicion. "It's about Taylor." Ridge sighed, already sensing where the conversation was headed. "Brooke, we've been over this. She's been through therapy. She's in a good place now." "Is she?" Brooke shot back, her tone sharper than she intended. "Because I'm not sure I believe that. People don't just change overnight, Ridge, especially not Taylor." Ridge frowned, clearly frustrated. She's worked hard to get to this point. Why can't you just give her the benefit of the doubt? Because I know her, Brooke said, her voice rising. I've seen her spiral before. I've seen her go from calm to chaotic in a matter of days. And I just don't trust that this diagnosis of hers is the whole truth. Ridge shook his head, clearly torn between defending Taylor and understanding Brooke's concerns. I get that you two have a history, but this isn't about you, Brooke. It's about Taylor and her relationship with our kids. They need their mother. And what if she's not as stable as she claims? Brooke pressed. What if she hurts them again? The conversation ended in an uneasy stalemate, with Ridge leaving the room in frustration and Brooke standing by the window, staring out at the sprawling estate. She couldn't shake the feeling that something was off with Taylor, and she wasn't about to sit idly by while everyone else ignored the warning signs. The secrets that bind. As the episode drew to a close, both Hope and Brooke found themselves grappling with secrets that could append their lives. Hope, consumed with guilt over her kiss with Liam, feared the day Steffy would find out the truth. Brooke, ever the protector of her family, was determined to uncover what she believed was the real story behind Taylor's miraculous recovery. But in the world of the bold and the beautiful, secrets have a way of unraveling, and when they do, the fallout is never gentle.